Are we buying or selling what our teams are telling us? Are we buying or selling that the Eagles are telling us that they are contending for a Super Bowl? Are we buying or selling the Phillies, telling us that running it back is going to be different? Are we buying or selling the Sixers, resetting our expectations for them? Buy or selling the Flyers, trending in the AM. We're talking buying and selling. We're live with your thoughts and opinions in 30 seconds. And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM right here on the STT Sports Network. We're live, but whether you're watching this live right now or on replay later today, please hit that like button, share this out, and, of course, subscribe to the STT Sports Network YouTube page, the only place setting the trends for what sports talk should be in Philadelphia. Guys, let's get on it. Like, subscribe, share. It's free to do. It's free to support a local channel. It's free to turn the dial off and turn YouTube up. It's very easy to do, guys. I'm Phil Stiefel, your host. There's already comments rolling in, mostly in our subscriber number, but we'll get to the comments in a second. Because today's poll question, the Eagles will make it back to the Super Bowl. It's a basic statement. The Eagles will make it back to the Super Bowl, true or false? And I ask that because when you listen to the media, you get one perspective. But when you listen to the team and when you look at it objectively, this team still thinks and has a chance to get back to the Super Bowl. Their season is not done. They're telling you that they're Super Bowl contenders, but most don't believe it. And why? But we're also asking these general statements of buying or selling for all of our Philadelphia sports teams and the messages that the teams are trying to send. The message the Phillies sending is different. The message the Sixers are sending. Do we believe it? That's what I'm asking. So make sure you vote on the poll. Question of the day, like, subscribe. Good morning, Duck. How you doing? Again, maybe this is just homerism. But other than a weakened O-line, the team is strong and ready for the run. Barring a catastrophic injury to somebody, we will be healthy by the time January gets here. So that weakened O-line should be better. I hope we have to play our starters for 2 games. Only have to play our starters for 2 games. Half of the first commies because we are so far ahead. All the Bills game just beat them. Yeah, look. I do want to see the Eagles get healthy. I do want to see the Eagles get right. I don't know. There's that other narrative that says you push forward harder for that 1 or the 2 seed. So you go out this week, you win, you stay healthy, and then you see where the chips fall. You see after Sunday whether your game plan against Buffalo is that the game matters or not. I guess there's really no way to judge that otherwise. 926 is weak. Like, we're at 926. I do my part every day. I'm trying. People must not like my easy-go-lucky style, K1. I know you like getting under my skin. I know you like having a bazoo day every day with me here. But maybe the others just don't. I don't know. We'll see. Good morning, Adam. How you doing? Thank you very much. Muchas gracias. Good morning, Bruce. How you doing? The march to 1,000 in 2025, dude. It's there. It's there for the taking. It's there for the taking. I would trade another Lombardi for that. No, I would not. Hold your horses. That is no. Let's not worry too much. Hey, muchas gracias. I appreciate that, Bruce. I try to have fun. I try to make this an enjoyable program. I do. Sometimes the conversations get a little repetitive, but it's hard when you're talking Philly sports every day, right? But at least I can do is keep it from being too clicky, too clickbaity, too terrible. But anyway, you literally 3 times subs in a few months. That is an already amazing growth. Yeah, considered a legacy medium now. Yeah, dude, I get it. I get it. We do what we got to do. Let's stay focused on the sports talk. But I do it because you guys come back every day. So as long as you guys keep coming back, no matter what, I'll always be here. Phillies are not sellers. Sixers might be sellers by the deadline. The Flyers are sellers to make the playoffs. So I'm not saying should they be buying or selling the trade deadline or their future, Adam. When I say buying or selling, I'm saying are you believing or not believing what they're telling you? And not even just specifically what you're telling you. The Phillies are telling us subtly, when the Phillies did make another addition, they signed Brad Keller, a reliever, to a 2-year, $22 million contract yesterday. Another one-hit wonder. At least his one hit, Brad Keller, was the most recent season this past year from the Cubs. I mean, he spent a lot of his career with the Royals, a little cup of coffee with the White Sox and the Red Sox, and last year with the Cubs. And he was a starter, turned reliever, and he had a great year. But it was his first year in over 5 with a sub-4.5 ERA. But anyway, the Phillies are telling you, the fans, by their actions, they're telling you that this team is good enough to win. They are telling you that with these minimal tweaks to the roster, that this team is still a contender. Are you buying that or are you selling that? The Sixers are telling you that this year is different, that Embiid will stay healthy, that Paul George will contribute, that this team has a chance to make noise come April. Is that when the playoffs? It's been a while since the NBA playoffs with the Sixers. Is it April, May, whatever? That's what I'm asking. Not whether the team should be sellers or buyers at deadlines. I'm saying, are you buying the bullshit that they're shoveling your way? I buy it with the Eagles. I even buy it a little bit with the Sixers and Flyers. I don't buy 1 ounce of what the Phillies are telling us. They're telling us that they have $200 million for Imai, Tatsuya. They got $22 million for Brad Keller, but they don't got $2 million to improve the outfield. The Eagles are telling us that this defense is rounding into form. Nolan Smith's not on a pitch clock anymore. The stats are telling you this defense is elite. I believe it. Morning, Little G. How you doing? How you doing? Well, congratulations. Can't believe that the Phillies are completed. They're signing Sixers or sellers because Paul George is looking like he has value and they're dying to get rid of Embiid. Flyers are growing and will be add. Yes, I agree with some of that. I am curious, and I brought this up a little bit yesterday, and it's been because of the NBA Cup, we're going like 5 days without a Sixers game. I think tomorrow night's their next game. I'm curious if there is a trade value for Paul George as he gets healthy and continues to play well. You know, a team like the Bucks who are now trying to add more stars to keep Giannis Antetokounmpo happy. I wonder if like a Bucks team or a Lakers team, there's a team that would want Paul George for 2 years. Seriously, did anyone think that they were doing anything different? They went all in from 19 to 23. You have what you have, like it or not. That's pretty. 19 to 23. That could have been the Sixers or the Phillies. That could have been a lot of teams that you're talking about there, Nooms. I think you're talking about the Phillies, though. I don't believe what the Phillies are saying. They are running it back. The Flyers are telling us we are all in to win, and the Sixers, I don't have expectations. There we go. Don't like what? I feel you are right about the Phillies when we could get Kyle Tucker, who would help us win the World Series. The thing with Kyle Tucker is I don't know what that Tucker contract's going to look like. Now, if he gets what I expect, over $400 million, I know the Phillies aren't going to go that deep into the pockets. But if he signs a $200 million deal, I'm going to be pissed off if it's not with the Phillies. But they're saying they've got the money, but only if certain people are available. Feel we should trade Embiid and George, as they are both hurt a lot. I mean, in theory, it would be great, but you can't trade something that people don't want. And I think there might be some eyes starting to twitch over to Paul George again. But that's about it. Dombrowski is taking the coward's route. He closed enough to smell the World Series and doesn't want to lose the scent, not know he's as close as he thinks. Yeah, I think Dave Dombrowski is basically calling the coward's draw on 3rd and 12. That's what he's doing. Yeah, maybe it breaks one free, but most likely it'll look good. It'll almost get there. Dave Dombrowski is calling the coward's draw right now. Good morning, Robert. How you doing this beautiful morning? I'm holding out hope Forrester's rehab has him back late April, just in time for the second round. Yeah, what did they say, 4? I saw 4 to 5 months, I believe, which would put us right around that late April time frame. Yeah, that is what I worked. What is weed rescheduling? Take that to the weed show. The McCain trade talk. Yeah, look. Excuse me. The McCain trade talk is interesting to me. It really is. I'm all in on the Philadelphia 76ers 3 guards right now. McCain, Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, even Quentin Grimes is a 4th guard. Now, here's the thing. If you have to trade McCain to get off of Joel Embiid, maybe you do it. Maybe you consider it. But I find it hard to trade any of the 3 young guards at this point. I really do. Phillies won't get anyone else. He is content with running it back. I mean, they're not going to get anybody else of substance. They'll probably get another utility guy, another 1-year prove-it guy. I love that they threw a 2-year contract at a reliever, but everyone's getting all, oh, man, Brad Keller, such a great reliever last year. And he was great last year for the Cubs. 2.07 ERA, 0.96 whip. Guy struck out, what was it, almost 10 batters per 9 innings. Problem is, ERAs the years before that, 5.84, 4.86, 5.44, 4.57, 5.09, 5.39. He hasn't had a sub-4.5 ERA since 2020. He's only had a sub-4 ERA twice his entire career. So they made a big move. Just not a sure thing big move. I hate writing on the phone. It makes me sound, yeah. I was wondering what you were doing there. I'm asking you, I used to know, but I have a bad memory from weed. Yeah, I don't know the whole detail of the thing that they're doing with reclassifying it. I just basically means that they're going to free up research money for it now. No one claimed Alan Lazard. I mean, okay, cool. A guard won't get hurt on the Sixers, and that's fine. It's like you can never have too much pitching. You can never have too many guards with the Sixers. I get that. It just depends on what you're trying to do. The Sixers still, in theory, are telling their fan base they're trying to win, and if they're going to be aggressive buyers at the deadline because Joel has stayed healthy and Paul George has stayed healthy, you got to trade. You got to trade something. You already lost 2026 draft pick. You got the Clippers picking, what was that, 27. That's very valuable. McCain in the 27, Daryl Morey might think gets you another star to get you over the hump. I wouldn't do it. I'm not saying I'll do it. I'm not buying that story. But that's in theory what they might be thinking. Yes, Matthew Judon is available now as well. Now we're good at linebacker. We're too good at linebacker. The higher ERA is before Keller dramatically increased velocity. Okay, and that's fair. And he did start his career as a starter. He has transitioned into a bullpen arm. I'm not saying it's a bad deal. I like more depth in the Phillies bullpen. And the fact that they're committing somebody for more than a year, it's great. The last time they gave out more than 1 year to a bullpen arm was Strom 3 years ago. So I'm okay with it. The thing is, they tell us they're out of money, that they can't fix the offense, but yet they're saving money for Tatsuya. They're giving out $22 million to an arm. I'm just asking the questions on what the story is that they're telling us, because that tells me dropping 22 on Brad Keller tells me they think this offense is good enough, which it's not. What's up, AK? How you doing this fine, beautiful morning? Hope you are well. It's warming up a little bit again. Here's an idea of roster stability. I agree. Will you ever have roster stability with Joel Embiid and Paul George? I don't know. Because there'll always be a question. They could play the next 30 games straight and do it without a limp of any kind, and you still worry. So roster stability will never be a thing with the Sixers, but I get what you're saying, and I agree. I'm just telling you what they're probably thinking and why they're probably thinking that. Now, was Kenny G too expensive or not valued? Too expensive, yeah. I mean, he was worth, billions of dollars, right? I think Kenny G wanted out because he wasn't getting. Yeah, Kenny G wanted a place to thrive. Kenny Gainwell wanted to go somewhere where he could start. Unfortunately, he's not starting, but he's doing well. When did they say they were out of money? Well, that's why I'm asking the question, Nooms. Are you buying or selling what they're telling you? Okay? They never said they're out of money. But Dave Dombrowski did say, no, there will be no more. We're not going to stretch the payroll past what it was last year. So by retaining Schwarber, by eventually retaining JT Realmuto, by giving out the $10 million to Garcia and probably having to eat the full 20 of Castellanos, they're telling you they don't have more money in the payroll. Okay? They didn't say they're out of money. They said we're not stretching the payroll, which does not give you room to add another big name. But yet they're also saying, and somewhere somebody said something, that they do have the money set aside for Tatsuya. So they have the money, but they don't. The story they're selling the fans is very, very confusing and very inconclusive, in my opinion. Kenny running hungry while Barkley seems fed up. I'm pretty sure he's not fed up, just so you know. I've worked through the Kenny G stages of grief. It's tank season, yep. 5 days off will help Embiid and Paul George with their injuries. Absolutely helps Tyrese Maxey with whatever illness he had. First, Joel Embiid gets sick at a moment's notice. Now so does. Anytime a Sixers guard has an illness, I get scared right away because it could be the end of their career, aka somebody else. We don't need guys getting sick. We know Joel Embiid gets tummy aches. You know, he must got some irritable bowel syndrome or something, but, you know, it is what it is. I miss Kenny G, but Tank is an upgrade. I still haven't brought in on Shipley. Yeah, look, Shipley is what he is. Second, third string running back. That's a great change of pace guy. And everybody loves the backups in Philly. That's it. I think Middleton has him strapped down so he can't add a big game player, period. I think that's what it is. He's like, look, we spent, I don't even know what the number was, $285 million last year. Do I have $300 this year? Nope, you've got $285 and that's it. That's what he was said, or was told. Tank is an upgrade. He is. Shipley stinks. We don't know that. Funny how no one is saying anything about AJ lately. AJ Brown, good. AJ Brown got his numbers. AJ Brown's getting his numbers. Maybe AJ Brown really, truly just wanted the best for the team and was the only one willing to speak out about it. Maybe he's not the cancer that people think. I still think A.J. Brown could get traded at some point. I still think, financially speaking, the Eagles are going to be in a hole, so maybe they do have to trade him. But they're not trading A.J. Brown because of frustrations or anything like that. Kenny G was a great sax player, but that's it, yes. I remember as a kid, you're not from this area originally, but B101 used to play those Kenny G, ballads. My mom used to love. I used to be cranking that shit in the car when I was a kid. Invest in the Tank Bank. That's an interesting one. Is Tank on the last year of his deal? Or will he be here? Or is he another one of those tough decisions how he has a free agency? Is he on year 3 or year 4 of his rookie deal? I don't even know what his contract is. Stuff's so overblown. Is it? Is it overblown to say the Phillies are telling us everything will be okay and we should just believe that? Is stuff overblown or not? I don't think it is. AJ finally shut the F up. He wants his numbers. He's getting his numbers. People don't realize that AJ Brown is on pace. Well, but he already has, I think he's the second most 100-yard receiving games this year. He's got 5 of them already. I forget what the numbers were. I saw the stat. I didn't save it this time. But A.J. Brown's numbers are just fine at this point. Just fine. I actually want to look something up here. Receiving. I bet you he's a lot higher than people realize, too. Devontae Smith is 12th in receiving yards at 889. A.J. Brown's 17th in the NFL. He's got more than Waddle. He's got more than Jefferson, more than Drake London, DK Metcalf, Travis Kelce, Devontae Adams. All guys with Stephon Diggs with less receiving yards than A.J. Brown. It probably was. I was listening to something in the car, and I forget what it was, but it was a big sax solo, like a jazz sax solo. I'm like, I always wanted to play the sax. One of the few instruments I did not learn as a kid. AJ, a jerk for when he hurts to throw over 100 yards. I think it was overblown is what it was. If you've ever worked on the talented squad being mismanaged and unachieving, and everyone's afraid to speak up, that's one of the most frustrating things to go through. If you're on a talented squad, mismanaged and underachieving, and everyone's afraid to speak up. The thing is everybody afraid to speak up? Are they underachieving? We don't know what the problem was. Maybe just the schedule, the injuries, and everything else just caught up to the team. The bullseye on their back. Maybe the 3-game losing streak was overblown. And that's all. Maybe the media and the fans overblew things without seeing the big picture. Flyers will make the playoffs before the Sixers. Does the NHL playoffs start first? Because if that's the case, then obviously they will. Who do you have more faith in making the playoffs, the Flyers or the Sixers? It's an interesting question. So I think the Sixers are going to make the playoffs, barring anything crazy happening. And I think the Flyers do too. But what's more realistically likely to happen? Who's more likely to collapse? And I guess the question is, who's more likely to collapse and miss the playoffs? The Flyers or the Sixers? Kenny G, the halfback, is overrated. Fight me, yeah. Oh, it's on. Like Donkey Kong. Tank is on year 3 of his 4. So, okay, so he's still got 1 year technically left. Got you. Thanks for looking that up. So there's one less free agent we have to worry about. So if you're a Kenny G, unfortunately, you're overrated. Pretty much anybody with the names Kenny and G, overrated. Right, yeah. Totally overrated. There was a better studio musicians. Yeah, I don't get it. Then the one that speaks up is either hurled it for speaking up on the down low. You always get those people that have no clue how to process criticism and label people as negative. That I agree with. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Kenny G couldn't carry Courtney Pine's saxophone case. What's the problem was, hey, Siri, what were her stats? Who cares about stats? AJ did the team a favor by speaking up. He very well could have. He very well could have made this situation big picture better by speaking up, by being the one that took the bullets, by taking the negative press off of somebody like Jalen Hurts or Kevin Patullo, by being the one that's speaking up, by being the one that all the media's attention's going to. Maybe he made things easier for everybody else. It's a great way to look at it. Courtney Pine's a star. Everyone wants him for the studio. No idea who that is. What's up, Todd? How you doing? Happy Thirsty Thursday to you as well. What's up, Freddie Defo says the NHL grind is coming up. Those dog days of January and February are always rough. However, I don't think Talk has them on the path of falling apart. I think they squeak into the playoffs this year. Yeah. I mean, we'll see how this young team holds up through the grind of January and February. Same thing with the Sixers, how the young team holds up there too. It's a grind. Winter sports are a grind. Winter sports are a major grind, a major, you get the dog days of winter. It's cold. It's snowy. You got the weather. You're thinking of summertime. It's a tough time. Absolutely is. So we'll wait and see. We will definitely wait and see on that. I think the Flyers and Sixers both make the playoffs. They are both early in their seasons. Here we are, mid-December. A week from Christmas? Yeah. I'm looking at the bottom calendar there. Yeah, a week from Christmas. At this point, they're both playing on a playoff trajectory. Are you buying that they are playoff teams? I'm buying that, yes, one will make the playoffs. I'm buying that the Sixers will if Joel Embiid continues to improve. I'll buy that the Sixers are going to make the playoffs if Paul George stays committed. I'll buy the Flyers as long as Vlad, the Impaler, continues to be given the reins as the number one goalie. I'll continue to buy the Flyers if Matvei Michkov can turn his year 2 around. Winter's the best time for sports. What better time to sit in front of the TV? That's true. That is true. Get the fireplace lit, turn the TV on, get yourself some gumbo or some chili, and watch sports. Absolutely agree with you on that. What are your thoughts on VJ Edgecombe? Love the kid. The kid has the maturity level of a star, of a guy that's been in the league for 5 years. Todd, his game has room to grow. But the way he's been able to come in his rookie year, deal with a mixed match lineup every night with Joel and Paul George and, who's the other guards and when they're playing. The situation VJ Edgecombe's come into and the maturity he's handled it is why I'm so impressed with him. The physical basketball talent is there. Okay? 100% there. The maturity is what impresses me. Shocking, I agree with Adam C. I see both will see the playoffs. Look, the trajectory is there. The trajectory is that all 5 major sports teams in Philadelphia will be playoff teams in the same calendar, in the same year. It really will be. I actually had to travel into Center City today for in-person meetings. Who does in-person meetings anymore? I wish I never had to be in person with anybody again. Put some Courtney Pine on. I still don't know who that is. We got the Winter Olympics this year, too, which is, I love Winter Olympics. I love Olympics, period. I'm always an Olympic guy because I do enjoy watching other sports that we don't get to see very often. I do enjoy watching all that stuff. With the Winter Olympics, I love the ice skating. I'm fascinated by it. And the skiing competitions, love the skiing competitions. So yeah, I'm a big Winter Olympics guy. And the bobsled and the luge, I'm there for that every year. Every 4 years. Edgecombe just needs to come into NBA grind body. Yeah. And he already, what would he sit? Like 3 games? Like 2 weeks ago? Whatever the injury was, I don't know if it even matters. As long as he was getting his body rested up. He was playing so many damn minutes, too. Curling, yeah, I don't even buy the fake hype. We've got 14 likes. We had over 20 people watching. There is over 20 votes on today's poll question, and there's only 14 likes on the video. Guys, like, subscribe, share. VJ looked like such a veteran for the first 7 games, but he eventually started turning the ball over more. He has become more frustrating, but is still way better than most rookies. He started to get bad. I think since his little 3-game chill out, he's gotten more like the first 7 games of the year. I think a rookie playing 40 minutes in the NBA every night, and being a focal point was tough on the kid. And he paid the price. He was given a moment to reset, and now we're back to seeing good VJ. Hey Siri, Phil says stats don't matter. Is he right? I don't know. I think I'm right. I love the Olympics, but the international can go efforts to the IOA. Dude, the Olympic Committee, most corrupt organization in sports, but I do love the Olympics. It is still my biggest regret in life was I was in Athens in 2004 for the Olympics when I was working on cruise ships, and I walked through the Olympic Village. It was like the week before the Olympics officially started, but there were some events going on. It was like $200 some to see a badminton event, and I said no. Like, I wish I would have dropped that $200 to watch badminton just so I could say I watched an Olympic event at Olympic Village. Walking through it wasn't good enough for me now. VJ is very well-rounded. VJ has potential to be a very, very important player on the Sixers roster for years to come. Stop. Courtney Pines is really good jazz musician, but there's a reason Kenny G is the most selling instrumental artist in a million records. We can never all agree on something. Are showing the NFL how to become an a-hole organization. That is true. Rams versus Seahawks NFC Championship preview. That is tonight. Tonight's Thursday already. God damn it. It's in Seattle. Seattle's 1.5-point favorites. I know Puka is out tonight for the Rams. Give me the Seattle Seahawks to win that game. Just to tighten up the NFC a little bit more. Give me the Seattle Seahawks behind Sam Darnold getting the W. Basically a thin Fabio. He's talented, but yeah, look. We can get off the Fabio, the Kenny G conversation. Kenny G is the Kirk Cousins of death. Oh my God. Soon enough, they should start running more plays for McCain once he's able to cut better off the ball. You're starting to see Jarrett McCain get back into his pre-knee injury form, for sure. You might be right. It is the IOC. Most corrupt organization in all of sports. Maybe in all of the world, period, is the Olympic Committee. It is. Is Jarrett McCain the odd man out, possibly traded to the emergence of Edgecombe? No. I think the Sixers can realistically build the franchise around all 3 guards. McCain, Maxey, and Edgecombe. Now, I don't think you would keep Grimes as well in that scenario. Big picture. But, no, you keep all 3. The way to the future is away from Embiid and Paul George. The future is 3 athletic guards that play bigger than their bodies are, and you put some athletic wings with them to run and play defense. That's what you do. You can absolutely make a run with 3 elite guards in the NBA now. VJ has already improved his shot. He has. I did not expect him to shoot the 3 so well so quickly. That's fine, bro. Your opinions. Mine's mine. Oh, man. I get, it's all cool. It's like a bar discussion here. Yeah. One of these Kenny G shorts will go viral. Probably not. I just turned it in and y'all talking Kenny G. I don't know, Rick. I have no idea what is going on today. But somehow the chat, not me, is going down a Kenny G rabbit hole and a saxophone jazz player rabbit hole. I don't know what's going on, Rick. No clue. Some of us are having a sports conversation. Eventually, I think McCain takes about 4 of Maxey minutes and 5 of Grime minutes. Yeah, and that would be good. I would like to see Tyrese Maxey's minutes stay in a realistic realm where he's not burned out come the playoffs. I don't know Putin administration, a few dictators. No, gotcha. Close, yes, absolutely. We're getting ready to listen to Kenny G and have a, yeah. Anyway, tell me your sleigh without telling me your sleigh. That's way too cool lingo for me. I don't talk cool hip lingo like that. It went from Will Shipley to Kenny Gainwell to Kenny G to Cameron Pine to God knows what else, Nooms. All idiots for mentioning Michael Bolton. That's the now we're really trying to ruin this show, aren't we? Really are. Grimes may stay. He is showing his worth. Crowded backcourt. There's nothing wrong with having a crowded backcourt, though, Todd, right? What have we learned from the Sixers organization? Had injuries happen, man. One of these guys, McCain went down last year, right? Maxey went down last year. We thought we had too many, then we didn't have enough. Maybe it is just what it is. Maybe it's just, this is Maxey, McCain, or Maxey and Edgecombe, the starters, McCain and Grimes, the backups. Maybe there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe having too many guards is okay in this NBA. I'd rather be talking about tank, but that's the way it goes, yes. Happy what? Meaning, Phil, it's what Aaron Rodgers does every year. Is that his dark journeys or whatever he called them? Go get high, sit in a tent, and have visions while listening to Kenny G. I think FIFA has had some hold my beer moments. They have. There's a lot of corrupt organizations out there. Lots of hazy IPAs to tonight's podcast. I was drinking a hazy IPA last night at the bar I went to for dinner. I think it was from Braylock Brewing. It was a double hazy IPA. It was good. Really knocked me on my butt. Hopefully Dombrowski has just played his cards close to the vest, and is not set with this outfield. Hopefully he's just telling a story and he's lying to the fans. Because the story he's telling the fans right now, Rick, is that this offense, not just the outfield, this offense is set. They dropped some money on Brad Keller yesterday to solidify the bullpen, which I'm okay with. Rumor has it they have money set aside for Tatsuya, and that they're going to cut ties with Castellanos. That's it. And JT Realmuto. That's the rest of their offseason. And I'm selling that as the right story. I'm not buying that as a successful offseason. I'm not. My wife's cousin used to drive Michael Bolton's bus. Says Michael Bolton was an asshole. He would lose his mind if you don't sort it. Sounds like something he would do. Are you encouraged by Paul George's recent play? I am. I have thought that maybe his trade value, Todd, has become something. Maybe not much, but more than it was a couple weeks ago. The question with Paul George is, can he stay healthy? The question with Paul George is, can he accept the role not as the star, just as the 3-and-D guy? And when you need, like the other game, was it 2 games ago where Paul George went off? When someone else is hurt or sick and you need him to go off, he can. When everybody's there, he could be the 3rd or 4th option. I'm not just encouraged by his play, his physical play. I'm encouraged by his acceptance as an older guy with his new role on this team. Because let's be honest, it's Maxey's team. It's still Joel's team. It might be the other guard's team before Paul George. The real shit, bro. If you watch the Simpsons movie, Esco and gave him yeah. I probably watched the Simpson movie, but not that many times. I'm not doubting what it is. I just can't say the word. Basically, what a healthy PG looks like. Yeah. I would like a Will Ferrell play a Michael Bolton movie where he is a dick to everyone. Gotcha. I like Braylock Brewery. It has a great vibe there. I do. I was at a different bar. I'd never seen Braylock beer outside of Braylock Brewery. So it's good. Absolutely got to sign JT. At this point, that's the next major move that happens for the Phillies. I think JT wants a third year. I think the Phillies offered 2. If I'm the Phillies, I put a club or a mutual option third year just to make them happy. Just get it done. Realistically, what's one extra year of JT Real Muto? It's not that big of a deal. But I still don't think signing JT and everything else they did is good enough for this Phillies team. Good enough for these Phillies fans. As long as he doesn't become Paul Chump in the playoffs. As long as he knows his role, that's fine. Eagles beat Washington by double digits on Saturday. It's possible. It's very possible, Rick. I'm still trying to refine my thought process for how this Eagles game will be played out. I worry about Marcus Mariota scrambling, something our defense has struggled with. I worry about Washington playing with nothing to lose. It's in Washington. But they can win by double digits. I can see it. Second, are you encouraged by Embiid's recent play? I'm absolutely encouraged by Embiid's play. But Embiid could play the next 700 games straight, and I'd still be worried about his health. Okay? I don't think I would ever get over Embiid's health issues throughout his career. Never fully. But I'm encouraged by it. And if he could stay relatively healthy, if he could play 5 out of every 6 games, which is even a lot, honestly, this team can go somewhere. As long as Embiid knows it's still Maxi's team. Whilst Mets may be on their way to an 81-game season, yes. Was the Braylock beer called Trust But Verify? I honestly don't remember. I said, which Braylock beer do you have? And she said, the hazy IPA. And I'm like, ooh, I'll take that. That's all. That's all. Or double IPA. I didn't even ask what the name of it was. I don't think there are any other catchers out there. No, you'd have to trade for somebody if you let JT go. I've seen a rumor floating around late yesterday that Scott Leffler is actually calling the plays. I do not believe it, Todd. I saw some things floating around. Those Facebook super fan pages. You just don't believe anything you see there. Until an actual beat reporter reports it even as a rumor, I do not buy into it. Until, an Ed Kratz or Martin Frank or Zach Berman start talking about it. It's just nonsense to me until then. Tell you what, I'm not a LeBron fan, but the dude has mastered how to take care of your body as a sports athlete. I'll always admire spending $10 million a year to keep your body young. That's impressive. Look, I always find it fascinating. I mean, I'm 45 now. I turned 45 this past weekend, AK. I could barely get up out of this chair after sitting here for 90 minutes. LeBron James is what, 43? 2 years younger than me? And he's out there dropping 25, 30 in NBA games still against young kids. I wouldn't even try to lace the sneaks up and go onto a court at this point. And I used to be able to ball a little bit. Wouldn't even try it at this point. Wouldn't want to try it, honestly, at this point. I just wouldn't. It's just that bad. But so yeah, he's a physical specimen, marvel, so to speak. Say what you will about the person. Say what you will about his personality, but you can't hate him. Where are we at, guys, with this conversation today? Are we buying or selling the Eagles as real Super Bowl contenders? Are we buying or selling what the messages the Phillies are telling us? And are we buying or selling the Sixers as a playoff team? But poll question, the Eagles will make it back to the Super Bowl. True or false? 23 votes in. 52% say true. 48% say false. Pretty down the middle. We're at 18 likes on the video, guys. So make sure you're hitting the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button as well. Maybe Patullo is just out there as a statue to make him look good, but Byron Leftwich is called. When did Byron Leftwich get into the building? One way to verify Leffler, look at some 23-24 Pro Bowl or Bowling Green offensive tape. No, I'm not going to go watch Bowling Green tape. I feel you, man. I'm leaning over my breakfast counter talking to y'all, but I can't stand up straight for you, dude. Dude, I told myself the other day, I'm going to join the Planet Fitness down the street in the new year. And I'm like, but then would my body even like survive 2 days in the gym without my knees giving out? We should learn about the Pro Bowl voting today, at least the fan portion of it. You know what's pathetic is that the last time they released the voting updated numbers, I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago, there was not one Eagles player in the top 5 and only a few in the top 10. I don't remember seeing Jordan Davis' name there. Zach Bond wasn't going to be a Pro Bowler. You know what's embarrassing is that Quinion Mitchell wasn't even a top 10 cornerback in Pro Bowl voting the last they updated the numbers. Let's be honest. The Eagles are 9-5. Not a great record, but not a bad record. They are the defending Super Bowl champions. And there is a legit chance that not one player on the Eagles roster makes the Pro Bowl on the initial voting. A legit chance. How embarrassing is that? And I know fan voting in all sports, it's a popularity contest. But you're telling me not one fan knows what Quinion Mitchell's doing? Not one fan knows that the offensive line of the Eagles isn't good? But yet all the offensive linemen are getting votes? Is it scar tissue that prevents you from getting up or nerve damage? Me? I don't have nerve damage. Well, I might have a little bit of nerve damage still left in my knee and my foot. I have nerve damage in my elbows as well. But it's a little bit of everything. I got a bad back. I got my bad leg. I got a lot of actual real ailments for sure. Buy or sell, I'm right in the middle. We beat the Raiders. The Raiders were beat 7 weeks ago. I need to see this game against Washington and also the Bills. If things go good, then I'll buy in. I didn't say you could be in the middle. You had to pick or choose one way or the other to go. Okay? Just so you know. You had to go one way or the other. But you're trying to be political and go down the middle. All right. Yes, it was just the Raiders. But honestly, even the week before against the Chargers, we started to see some things change on the offense. We saw glimmers of hope even the week before. Maybe these things are starting to finally lock in. Maybe some of these things are finally starting to hit their stride, right? At the right time. We get healthy. All we got to do is get to the playoffs and be healthy. I'm 100% okay with nobody making the Pro Bowl. I know the Pro Bowl is meaningless. I'm sure players' contracts don't even have that many big bonuses like they used to for making the Pro Bowl. I know the All-Pro list means more to the players. But still, isn't it a big, how do I say it? It's a bit disrespectful that nobody even knows who half these Eagles are? To an extent, I think it is. Told you, man, 14 weeks straight of shitty football. It's going to take more than just one game to turn me around. That's fine. But was it really 14 weeks of shitty football? I mean, we were 8-2. We did beat every good team out there just about, despite it not looking pretty. Shitty football or injured, tired football. It's a matter of perspective, I think. That is criminal that Quinn is not on the Pro Bowl list. He is arguably, no, he is. I mean, statistically speaking, he's dominating the league. The only reason why he's not on the list is because he doesn't get the flashy interceptions. Cooper DeJean's top 10. Doesn't mean he'll make it. I think he was like 8th or 9th rated or voted cornerback. Yet Quinn wasn't even top 10. Once I started relifting a little, the nagging pains vanished. Yeah, I do. And I know that's all joking aside. I know what needs to be done. And I did do it once before. Leading into 2019, I was getting out of control of my weight and my health. And I committed. And I lost like 60 pounds. More than that. So I know I could do it and get in shape. You just got to get started. Getting started is the hardest thing, Nooms. I just reshared all my socials. Thank you. Muchas gracias, Adam. I appreciate that. If you're in the Pro Bowl, that means you're not in the Super Bowl. Yeah. If you're playing in the Pro Bowl, it means you're not in the Super Bowl. But you still want to get the honor of getting voted in, right? There's still clauses in contracts that get you bonuses for getting in. I'm more surprised at DeJean and Bond not being there, especially with everyone having watched the Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, Cooper DeJean at least was in the top 10 voting-wise. Maybe. Because of his new girlfriend floating out there, pumping up the social media presence. Maybe. I doubt it. I don't think they're actually boyfriend-girlfriend. It was 14 weeks of shitty football. Let's not beat around the bush here. Yeah, we were eating 2, but it was the shittiest 8-2 we had seen in a long time. I'm not making excuses, dude. I'm not. I love the honesty, AK. I do. I enjoy the honest thought process here. Okay? I look at the bright side. That it was 8-2 against great teams that had it out for us. It was 8-2 against other great teams, right? 8-2, Landon Dickerson playing 2 weeks after knee surgery. 8-2, Jalen Carter playing through shoulder injuries. I tried to look at the bright side. 8-2 with a new offensive coordinator that doesn't know how to call plays. Was it shitty? Yeah, it did look shitty. But wins are wins. In my opinion. I get your thought process, though. And I think it's a very valid, warranted thought process. It really, truly is. Todd says Eagles 31, Commanders 14. It's a fair score. I haven't come up with any of my score predictions yet. I'm really not sure which way I'm looking scoreboard-wise just yet. But I like that idea. Training the AM is almost always done on the treadmill for me. I can't run on treadmill. I used to do ellipticals, but treadmills can't. I can't have impact on my knee of any kind. You could be eating 2 and be a bad team, and there's nothing wrong with saying that. We were bad. If they turn things around, awesome. If not, it sucks, but it's not wrong to call it. No, I'm not. Nobody's saying you're wrong for having your opinions. I just disagree. I just look at it the other way. When it comes to back problems, shape is just a small portion of it. I've never actually had my back checked properly. I'm not even going to get into the long story short part of it. I just deal with it. Lots of stretching, right? Lots of stretching and being cautious with it. Do the players still get bonuses for getting so many catches and touches during the year? It just depends, Adam. There's always clauses in every player's contract for snaps played, for catches, for touchdowns, for Pro Bowls, for all pros, for championships, for wins. There's so many clauses in every player's contract. That's totally up to each and every player and their agent. That's what it is. Plain and simple. Thoughts on Sirianni calling plays? Well, he's not calling the plays right now. I asked this question a few weeks ago, Todd. I asked, you don't want Kevin Patullo calling plays. Well, the next best option is Nick Sirianni, who failed at doing it a few years back. I like Nick Sirianni in his role as the CEO head coach. I like Nick Sirianni in the have his pulse on everything kind of head coach. I really, truly do. I actually prefer that. But the problem is when your OC is failing and your your head coach can't call plays, then you're stuck in a position. I said it before, just to keep rolling with KP. Let him learn. Let him sink or swim this year. We're eating two against other. We're eating 8-2 against other great teams. But did we look good doing it? No, we didn't. And therefore, I'm not just going to sit here and blow smoke up. Yeah, no, okay. See, the thing is, we're looking at it different. You're looking at ugly wins don't matter. And we probably argued this in 23 because 23 was full of ugly wins. And then it fell apart, right? So you're whether you know it or not, you've been burned by 2023, right? And you're worried that it'll catch up. Me, I'm looking at 8-2 with ugly wins against great teams that the better team dug deep and found a way to win. That's just the way I look at it. Sirianni is the Don, Patullo and Fangio are the Capo regimes, and Big Dom is Luca Brasi. Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. I always get the spine MRI. If the spinal cord is narrow, it unfortunately means either way more ab workouts and core definition. Well, yeah, look, who's got time for that shit, right? I'm not sitting here saying that if they get their shit together, they won't go back to the Super Bowl, but they have to show me they got their shit together first, not finding my foot in my mouth. Yeah, maybe I do have too much blind faith, right? And that is absolutely fair to even think. Too many comments. Do the wins versus KC, Tampa, Dallas, Detroit, Minnesota mean as much now that 3 of the 4 are eliminated from the playoffs? I mean, that's a fair question too, Steve. Very fair. That these wins were so tough early in the year, and now you're looking back and those teams turned out not to be so good. I guess you could say the Rams and Green Bay were still really good wins, right? I guess. I think you're very fair and warranted on saying that. For sure. That would make Howie the Michael Corleone in this scenario, I guess. I'm not sure. What teams scare you in the NFC versus the Eagles in the playoffs? The 49ers scare me. The Rams still scare me. At some point, even though we have the Rams number, at some point they're going to beat us. Whether it's this year, next year, or whatever. At some point, they're going to get it right. The 49ers and the Rams are the two teams that right now scare me the most. But the Rams do have a tough game tonight, so that helps. I think we can beat the Bears in the playoffs. I know we can beat the Packers in the playoffs. The Rams would probably be the number 1 team and the 49ers number 2. I worry about Christian McCaffrey and the 49ers defense. Whether it's coming to Philly or not. I really do. For sure, man. Eventually it just gets to the point where you just got to live life. Eventually just stop caring about how bad your back hurts. Yep, exactly. I agree. He's definitely not Fredo. He's definitely not Fredo. Maybe Howie would be Tom Hagen, actually. Right? Wouldn't Lori be Michael Corleone in the scenario? Howie would be Tom Hagen? I guess. I don't know. Never tried to compare the Eagles organization to the Corleone family. I'll have to draw a whole little map and map it out for you guys for tomorrow or another day. Anyway, top of the hour. It's 9 a.m. It's trending in the a.m. Guys, like, subscribe, share, drop your comments. Even if you're watching this on replay, every replay comment I do check and I do read, guys. Even the nonsense comments, like yesterday on Twitter or on YouTube. Yesterday's comments from, where is it? I got to go. There were a lot of comments on videos yesterday. From None Ya Business yesterday, telling me the Eagles at best will be the number 3 seed, if not miss the playoffs. And we are delusional to think that we are winning the NFC East. We're delusional, just so you know. According to None Your Business 29, okay? The only way they get the 2 seat is Chicago, but so they changed their tune right away. And I'm a weirdo because he or she is going to come back in 2 weeks for an apology because I'm wrong that the Eagles are going to be the 3 seat. What are those little charts with the strings on it? I'm going to do a whole chart thing. Birds can survive without JC and Lane Johnson, but they're obviously needed against better teams. 1,000%. 1,000%. That guy, that person is a something fan. Not an Eagles fan, but a something fan for sure. The Eagles as a football team, franchise, and organization is the epitome of slop. That smelly garbage truck juice on a hot. What? Did your account get hacked? I've been burdened long before 23. I'm over 40 like you. We've seen plenty of crappy teams come through here, and we've talked mad crap and found our foot in our mouth. Yeah, I get it. We have, and I'll continue to put my foot in my mouth because I will continue to live with my emotions on my sleeve and never see things down the middle. Somehow our poll question, we are dead even 50-50. True, false. Eagles will make it to the Super Bowl. Dead even at 26 votes, 50-50. Wow. 23 wasn't the start. 23 was the eye-opener that made me realize that never again will I be caught looking stupid. It's that simple. I don't think being a fan and letting your emotions take over makes you stupid. I think it makes you passionate. I do. I don't hate it. I love living emotionally like that. I do. Rooting for LA Rams for what? To beat us tonight? What are you rooting the Rams for? Like, I'm not rooting for the Rams to be better than the Eagles. I'm not rooting for the Rams to make the Super Bowl if we don't. Just not. I'm not a Rams fan. I do like Matthew Stafford. I do think they've got a good team. But I'm not going to root for the Rams in any scenario. I'm definitely rooting for Seattle tonight. Although, maybe we should root for the Rams. If that NFC West between the Rams, the Seahawks, and the 49ers is not set, right? Like, there's 3 teams that could win that division still, I believe. Yeah. Rams and Seattle are tied at 11-3, and the 49ers are only 1 game back. Who do the Eagles want to avoid in the first round of the playoffs? You want that team you want to avoid to win that division and be the 1 seed. So maybe we should be rooting for the Rams tonight, so we at least get a few-week reprieve from them. Seattle tonight by 7. I think Seattle wins tonight. I do. What's up, Kevin? How you doing? Did you see that Max Crosby said about the city of Philly? Max Crosby is hitting that he wants to come to Philly big time, yes. Likes the city, like cities with substance. You can feel the energy here when you play here. Problem is, we've got Nolan Smith that's got to get paid. We got Jalen Phillips that's got to get paid. And eventually, Jalen Hunt, they got to get paid. I don't know if they also pay Max Crosby. But yes, Max Crosby is definitely making an early run at becoming a future Philadelphia Eagle, Kevin, for sure. Never to both what? No, when I'm positive, the Eagles lose, and when I'm negative, they play good. So, okay, so you're just trying to be negative. I got you, mister. I got you. You haven't been hacked. It's the opposite. It's bizarro world for you. The Bears are scary coming out of the NFC. Todd, I agree. I just don't know if I would trust Caleb Williams in the playoffs yet. All right? He's proven things to me, but he hasn't proved enough yet. Okay? Never win out. Our Niners win out and Rams lose tonight. The Niners control their own destiny for the 1 seed. That's crazy. The 49ers are a team that scares me, for sure. 49ers and the Rams are the 2 teams I think that can knock us off as Super Bowl repeats. Being a fan and letting your emotions take over and egging someone's house is in fact stupid morning. Well, yes. The egging of the house is taking it too far, Suzanne. 100%. And as someone that I remember my dad cussing and whoever egged their house in 1991 or 2 or whatever it was, just listen to him trying to clean the stucco. He was pissed. For sure. You never do that. But letting your emotions take over in a cheerful way, it's fine. When you let it get out of hand, that's a problem, obviously. If you think the Bears in Seattle will be eliminated one and done, then you want them up top as we then become the top seat remaining. Yes. I also, whoever wins that division, you avoid in the first round. I'm thinking, would you rather face the 49ers or the Rams or Seattle in the first round of the playoffs? Bringing Crosby, get rid of whoever, make it happen. There you go. We got one for sure. Max Crosby come to Philly. Never cheering for LA or Seattle. Yeah, it's hard to cheer for them. It really is. You'd call it what it is. I call it stupid. When I say something and I tell my viewers something, I like to be right or at least close. See, the thing is, I don't ever say anything to be right or wrong. I just give you my opinion. I don't give out facts here. You tell me your opinion. Our shows have different formats. This show is you guys give me your opinion, and I tell you whether I agree or not. It's agree to disagree. I think somebody, trademarked that, though. But I don't have any notes on that. Are you going to wear a Santa hat on stream? I actually brought it down the other day. I left it over there. I will start wearing it soon. Week 18, Seattle versus San Francisco should be flexed to Sunday Night Football. Wow, that could be for the division there. It really could. Living your emotions is fine, too. I mean, I'm even with Mets, I'm pretty close to that. See if your pool is 50-50 right now. That me being in the middle wasn't too far-fetched. Make it happen, Howie. We did try for Micah. We did. Eggs are so expensive nowadays. That's how I knew it was rich kids. Eggs are coming down. They're coming down in price. They're getting respectable. I paid $5 for a 30-pack the other day. Okay? Maybe a tie tonight? Yeah. I doubt it. I mean, there have been a few more ties than normal lately, so maybe. But I still doubt it. All right, we got to 20 likes today. Not too shabby. 26 votes, 20 likes. No new subscribers. Got to see how this new shorts feature works after the show. Anyway, I like to keep things down the middle. Tomorrow we will get into the final preview and prediction of this game for the Eagles. And maybe we'll get a little bit more into the Sixers as they're coming off of their 5-day hiatus tomorrow night. I was actually considering doing a Sixers watch party tomorrow night. We'll see what the schedule has to say. They upgraded their features, StreamYard. The problem is, when they upgraded, I think they put a limit on how many you could do, which is going to be a big problem for me. So I already sent them a message whether I'm misunderstanding the new program or not. So we'll see. One short will be about Kevin, probably. Maybe not a tie since the Cowgirls aren't playing. That's true. Falk the Rams. Falk the Rams. Yes, absolutely. I predict Seattle wins the game tonight. I don't have a score prediction, but Thursday Night Football favors the home team. Thursday Night Football, it's going to be a good game tonight. It just is. It's one of those games I don't watch too much Thursday Night Football, but I'll probably put it on for a little bit tonight. For sure. Seattle will win tonight. 9 field goals, no touchdowns. Look, kid, I mean, a win's a win. Do you think Seahawks fans are complaining about an ugly win where they didn't score a touchdown? Probably not. You got 24-21 Seahawks. The Eagles fear not team in the playoffs. The Eagles fear not. So you're saying no, the Eagles don't fear any team in the playoffs. That's fine. I can get behind that. I get that. I'm just predicting which teams I prefer not to face early or at all in the playoffs. So we are hate watching, rooting for Seattle. Yeah, I don't know who I'm hate rooting for more. And see, here's the thing, and I say this, and again, Do you prefer to worry about who you face in the first round or who you may eventually have to go on the road to face? And between Seattle, LA, and San Fran, one of those teams could be your first round opponent. And one of those teams could be your opponent in the championship game. How do you want that to play out? It's an interesting thing. Interesting theory in my mind. This is as good of a Thursday Night Football matchup as I can remember for a while. Absolutely, Steve, 100%. I got all-time best rarity score on Immaculate Grid for the NBA. What? You never knew we had a shortage of chickens. If I knew that, I would have went out and purchased some beforehand. Yeah, with the eggs, yeah. I'm only watching for fantasy purposes. Yeah, I'm back in. I got to check my fantasy team, actually. I was on bye because I was the number 1 seed last week in the family league. So I'm I guess the second round of the playoffs start. Do I have anybody on Seattle? I don't even know what my team has. I've changed so many guys on my team. Do I got anybody going tonight? I do not. I got a bunch of guys on Monday night because I got a bunch of 49ers going. Nope, I got nobody going tonight. 27-10 Eagles. Adam with an early prediction. We'll get to predictions tomorrow. Eagles play the Bills 28th in Buffalo. If you're a real Eagles fan, you'll show up for that game in minus 100-degree weather. Yeah, exactly. Seattle has our number, and we have the Rams number. And I get that. And at some point, that script flips, right? Have we beaten the Rams so many times that it's their turn? Not their turn, their time? Have they figured us out? Would you rather go, since we have, if you're confident that we have their number, wouldn't having to take Seattle at home, like have Seattle come here in the first round, be better than going there? So maybe in that scenario, you want the Rams to win that division, get the Seattle Seahawks at home in the first round, and then face the Rams on the road. You saying that's a better scenario than vice versa, the Rams at home for the Eagles, than Seattle in Seattle? There were 7 teams that got blanked this season. Wow. 7 teams that got, shut out? Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of shutouts this year. Jackson Smith and Stafford for me. Those are the 2 guys you got in your fantasy team. Jay has said, I remember talking about him in the draft, and we talked briefly about the Eagles even remotely considering him. It was before they got Dotson as their third guy. Turned into a hell of a receiver there in Seattle. And Matthew Stafford, is Matthew Stafford the MVP of the NFL this year? At this point, if the vote had to be submitted today, is he the MVP? I try not to worry about any team, but I do believe the one team that nobody wants to run into the playoffs is the Eagles. And I've been saying this all week, Rick. Nobody wants to face us. Okay? Nobody wants to come to Philly. Nobody wants Philly going to their city. Especially if Lane and Jalen get healthy, right? If Landon continues to get healthy. The Eagles are the scariest team in the NFL right now. They know they can win. They've already proven they can win a title. They're getting right at the right time. They're going to have an opportunity to rest some of their starters in Week 18. Nobody's going to want to face the Eagles at all. I don't think so. It's not the game where you have to pick players that played on multiple teams, and I think it sounds familiar. Something like that my nephew wanted to play once, and then I never got around to it. We own Seattle, a receipt from 19. We owe them. Need to make them feel pain for Dirty Clowney. That is true. That is true. Rather play against Seattle in the playoffs because of Sam Darnold. So would you rather? So here's the question though: would you rather face Seattle in the first round at home, which I would think we would win that game, or would you rather face the Rams, get them out of the way, and then have to go to Seattle later? That's the question. Rick's predicting a blowout win. That's fine. I'll get to my prediction tomorrow. Yes, that's true. I don't want to go to Seattle. Plus, we take over LA every time we're there. That's fair, too, Kevin. For sure. Don't forget the mighty Broncos only beat the Raiders by 3, 10-7. We smoked them by 31. Yeah, look, division game there. I'll give that as a division game as an excuse there, I guess. Not mad at Seattle for 19 for knocking out Carson Wentz. Why would it be mad at that? That's the reason we got Jalen the year after. So it really did us a favor. All things happen for a reason, right, AK? But yes, I still am a little bitter that Carson Wentz got taken out on a cheap shot there. I do feel bad. Again, for as much of a Hurts guy as I am, I was just as high on Carson. I was just as big of a Carson guy. I really was. I used to do the hashtag Wentz is elite at the end of every tweet that I used to make. No surprise to Buckeyes fans, the four of you. The Eagles going to get healthy at the exact right time. The Eagles are the new Chiefs of the NFL. I still think the Chiefs are the Chiefs of the NFL. They're just having one down year. Did you see what the Commanders fans were doing? They were cooking bald eagle eggs and bacon for breakfast. That's fighting words. Is that even legal to do? I don't even know. Good. Let them get excited for the game. Let them get excited to lose. And all NFC West playoffs could leave us bruised and bloodied. Absolutely. That would be a brutal schedule, honestly. You got to hope for at least one wild card team. Oh, no. I mean, there's going to be 3 teams from the West that make the playoffs. I don't feel bad. Carson amounted to nothing. If he would have moved on and actually won, I might have been mad, but I'm not. Dude, I see any negative ill will towards Carson. I just don't understand it. We don't win our first Super Bowl without Carson. I hold no ill will towards him. I still have nothing but fond memories of the guy. The guy laid his body on the line for the Eagles. I'm a Carson Wentz guy still. I am. Eagles going to knock out whoever is in their way. As Marshawn would say, Rick, line that shit up and knock it down, right? I was a Wentz guy. My wife thought he was soft. As usual, the wife was right. Yes, that is an accurate statement. We became the new Chiefs of the league when we took their heart last February. But I'm just thinking of Indiana Jones. I can't remember the words. It ripped the heart out. Yeah. February excitement is greater than December excitement. That is true. All eagles are considered a protected species, and if they were actual eagles' eggs, the huge fine and jail time. That's what I kind of felt like when I saw that statement put on there. It's kind of what I was thinking. Was a huge Wentz guy. I never was really into buying jerseys when I was a kid. Wentz was the first jersey I ever owned, so he holds a special place in my heart. But I want winners. And that's fine. He was a winner. Until he wasn't anymore. Until the injuries caught up. I really, truly believe that his career would have turned out differently if he doesn't take that concussion. The stories I've heard. Now, his time in Philly might have already been up or coming to an end. And maybe his story doesn't change in Philly. But I think in his career it changes. Maybe without that concussion. Absolutely, absolutely. Carson will be an Eagles legend, like it or not. I'm okay with it. To me, without him, we don't have a Super Bowl in 2017. That's not negative ill will. I didn't say I wish he got injured. I'm just saying I'm not mad about it because of what happened. After my God got out of your feelings, no one said they were happy. What? I think all away teams during Wild Card Weekend will have a chance to upset. The parity is real this year. I agree. I agree. Steve, can't understand how you can hate AJ but speak fondly of Wentz. Who hates AJ? I don't hate AJ. I've spoken openly about how wanting AJ to stick around. Yeah, Carson always gets love. 17, yeah, absolutely. Kalima Shikadi. Yeah, no, I still can't. I can't even say. I know it, but I can't say it. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. He would have been MVP that year, Susan. Absolutely. He was the betting favorite at that point when he took the injury. I liked Wentz on third down in 2017. Yeah, absolutely. No, I don't. I've never badmouthed A.J. Brown at all. How do I have it in for him? I actually said it earlier in this actual show, Davey, that I hope he doesn't get traded because we're better with him than without him. I don't hate AJ. You can like someone and wish they would shut up every once in a while. That is fair. Yeah, AK gets a little upset, a little too easily. Anyway, where are we at? We're 10 minutes before the end of this show here today. What's on the agenda today? I don't even know what's on my agenda today. Not a clue. It is foolish. Now, there might be a reason to trade him, Kevin. Financially speaking, you might have to trade him. There's a lot of guys that got to get paid. You got a lot of money tied up in the offense. There's a lot of restructuring that has to be done. Yes, A.J. Brown, it's foolish to trade him. And the drama sucks, right, that he brings. But he makes you a better team. But on the flip side, it is a business. And you've got Nakobe Dean, Jalen Phillips, Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Quinion Mitchell, Cooper Jean, Jalen Son, all that need to get paid in the next 2 years. Where's that money come from? A.J. Brown's making a lot of money. These next 3 weeks is really like the Eagles to work on getting the run game going. Huge, Steve. I would love to see that as well. 100%. And the Washington run defense is not good. They're the 28th ranked run defense. So maybe they can. You're not going to get 3 first. Maybe 1. It would be foolish to trade him for less than that. But will they? I don't know. What you doing now after Pizza Life? Whatever I feel like it. These shows, more shows, little DoorDash, trying to find a job, making money doing this, unsuccessfully, but I'm trying. Any way to make a few bucks. And a lot of this. I hope to see you tonight. Yeah, I'll do my best. We'll see how the night goes and how the day goes and whatnot. Is A.J. Brown one of the top 3 wide receivers in Eagles history? He's won a Super Bowl. He's had over 1,000 yards every season. I mean, obviously, Harold Carmichael is a Hall of Famer. If he's not he's got to be top 3. 4 years here in Philly. Probably close to 5,000 yards. A.J. Brown might be already a top 3 Eagles wide receiver all time. Wrote it down. I'm going to think about that. You give a goal in overtime in the final 10 games, you can continue the game, but if you lose, you get 0 points. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. That's completely random and out of left field there. Bad feeling about Wentz when he dumped his longtime girlfriend for the hot blonde. What? I didn't even know about that. In your opinion, do you believe Tucker is completely 100% out for the Phillies to sign? Yes and no, and I kind of brought this up early in the show, Rick, maybe before you were in the chat, how the Phillies claim, the rumors and reports claim that the Phillies have about $200 million set aside to sign potentially Tatsuya Imai. However, whatever. Tatsuya, right? And they just dropped 22 on Keller yesterday, right? If you've got $200 million sitting there, which would put you over last year's payroll, then why are you telling us you're out on Tucker? They haven't said they're out on Tucker, but they're basically hinting that they're out on Kyle Tucker, right? So they've got money there to spend, but only for a pitcher when you already are pretty rich in pitching. You can never have too much pitching, but you know what I mean. Your offense stinks. I don't think Tucker comes to Philly. I think Tucker wants $400 million. Now, if Tucker doesn't get $400 million and Tucker signs somewhere on like a 4 or 5 year deal at like $35, $40 million and we don't get him, I'm going to be furious. If he signs a 5 year, $200 million deal, Tucker, and it's not with Philly, I'm going to lose my shit, Rick. Being upset with speaking with emotion. It's really all how you guys read it. It does sometimes feel that you get a little upset when people disagree with you. It does. That's just the way we read it. Good. Dave, I'm good. I'm happy. Would I like to find a job soon? Doing this for money? Yes, I would. Am I an unofficial free agent? Yes, I am. But I'm going to continue doing trending. I'm going to continue to try to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm trying to make a run at it. Restructure his contract to keep him. Who, A.J. Brown? Yeah, they're going to restructure a lot of contracts, including Jalen Hurts this offseason, to make that. Rick, you can put your link in the chat. You should put the link, too, in the chat. I'll put it up, and people can copy and paste it, Rick, if you want. Howard Carmichael's son was on our podcast last week. Was he? Not the part I tuned in. Also, if you're down after regulation by 1 goal, you go 1 penalty shot to tie the game. But if you miss, you get no points. You're all about making changes to rules in hockey here. Philly's got some Japs on this team. They're trying, supposedly. Imagine would be a great signing. They need to be more in on the Japanese market. Absolutely agree. Bellinger. Are they in on Bellinger or Tucker? They're telling us no, they're not with their actions and their words to an extent. But, man, if they claim they have $200 million and they don't use it, it's crazy. I think they're really content. They're not going to be able to trade Casty. I don't think there's a trade market for Bone. I think the Phillies offense, barring JT Realmuto not signing his extension here, barring that, the Phillies are pretty much set for 2026, offensively speaking. Same thoughts. I'm all for eliminating a team getting 1 point. Yeah, I don't even know where to go with all these rule change ideas. Phil's need to hire a hot Japanese cultural attaché. They need somebody to take the blame when you're gambling in trouble. Basically, you didn't know Wentz dumped his girlfriend after becoming the starter. I did not know that, honestly. I really don't remember. Maybe I did, and I just don't remember it. I do not remember. I don't actually pay attention one iota to players' personal lives. I don't know which players on the Philadelphia Eagles, realistically, not too many of them, at least. I don't know which ones are married. I don't know which ones have kids. I don't know which ones have girlfriends. I know nothing about athletes' personal lives, except for the fact that people are sharing pictures of Nikki Bella and Cooper DeJean and claiming that they have a relationship now. That would be a little creepy, considering one's like 22 and one's like 45. Carmichael, Djax, T.O., AJ, Devontae Smith. Like, I wouldn't put T.O. ahead of any of those names because he's a greater wide receiver, but he was here for a cup of coffee. So he's all-time better than those guys, but not all-time better in Eagles uniform. So I would say Carmichael, AJ, Djax, Smitty, T.O., Michael Quick has to be in there. I'm all for stealing 1B on a first base on a wild pitch. What? I'm with you, Phil. I don't really care too much about their personal life. Yeah, it's not even that I just don't care about it. Like, I don't track it. That information doesn't compute in my head. Like I don't remember it even if I hear it. Like, people get all up in celebrities' personal lives, period. Not just athletes, celebrities even. To me, it's just whatever. Cool, I guess. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't. Yeah. I don't know what's going on in their lives. A couple key stories here or there might register, but that's about it. Guys, if you haven't, subscribe, share. Cup of coffee, yes, but what T.O. did to even play in the Super Bowl makes him all-time to me. That's fair. Very fair. Mike Quick, great Eagles wide receiver. If not for injury, he's the AJ of that generation. Yeah. I would still put AJ ahead of him. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias. Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried. Not worried right now, Adam. Go out, DoorDash a little bit today, make money, whatever. Yeah, time McDonald, yes. And I'm sure, kid, you were alive for it, right? When men were men. Such an old saying, kind of saying. But yeah, different era, different style, different everything, right? It is what it is. All right, with that being said, I think it's time to wrap this baby up for the day. Put a neat little bow on it. The personal lives affect their play on the field. That's fine. That's very possible. Okay? Very possible. I still don't track it, though. When you're making the pizza. I made pizza on Saturday to make sure the Eagles won on Sunday. So I take full credit for the Eagles winning on Sunday, just so you know. Because I made pizza to break the curse. Basically, no, you steal on a drop third strike. I'm all for allowing an advance on any strike. Phillies could take advantage of that with their speed. All about changing rules. 40 and 50. Zero. So I put 46, 66. Man. Probably the oldest person that regularly watches this show. Awesome. I didn't know anybody older watched. Cool. So you are alive for it. Young, but alive. Cool. Anyway. With that being said, guys, it's time to wrap this baby up. Back tomorrow. My final preview and prediction. I will have a score prediction. There's only a way we could push in baseball. The Phillies might actually win more. That's a joke. No one take that serious. One of the Golden Girls watches. Yes, we do got Golden Girls. So are the robots coming this year for the umps? Yes, we will have the ABS system in play this year. When the season gets closer, we will get into the details on what that is now. Make a Pizza Friday next Saturday and the day before the. I don't have no more. As long as I am semi-sober, I will tune in till I fall asleep in bed. The sounds of Rick's voice put me to sleep on Thursday night. All right, guys. What's this? Did you even know that Trey Turner's mom passed away? I did not know that. Did not know that. Yeah, full-time is what we need. I did not know that about Trey Turner's mom. Anyway, guys, I got to wrap this up. I feel a real big sneeze attack about to come on. So I'm getting out of here, guys. Everybody have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow with more great stuff. Like, subscribe, share, more conversations. Go Birds. Bubbles up.